this too. All right, we can record too. Cool. Ready?
Ready.
8 minutes early. And where it go?
Ship it.
Boom.
Hello, world.
Dennis.
This is
What an honor.
Thorn's 2-pack.
The
Brought to you
2-pack.
by Thorn Michelada. Delicious.
Did I tell you we submitted that to JBF?
Yes. I like that submission. I
Yeah.
like that better than the IPAs.
I know you did.
Just because I just think every year we plug in those IPAs, and I think the IPA, the judges' palates just have to be completely wrecked and can't really see anything. So it's usually when you see what wins in each styles, they're usually like fringes. So the hoppy pale will be somebody's like double IPA, and then the IPAs are just fucking it's just such a crapshoot. I'd rather play with some fun one-offs or creative stuff personally.
I guess it's
I like having the Barrio Lager in there though.
It's like, what's the goal? Is the goal to win one, or is the goal to like win the most impactful category? And what's impactful?
I think it's somewhere in the middle, and that's why the IPA won. I just feel like there's so many people in the IPA category, and the IPA category is such like it's just this one thing, and there's only so many variations of that, especially if you're doing like the West Coast style IPA or what have you. And I just feel like if you look traditionally at who wins those categories, it's like somebody's straight up fucking double IPA wins a hoppy pale. It's like it's not even the right category. And then the actual IPA category, there's so many entries, and the style is just so similar. It's like you hear who wins, you're going, did they just throw a dart at the thing? I don't know. But I am no BGCP,
BJCP,
LB,
most certainly not.
XYZ.
From what I hear from my judge friends, is that like
You don't have any judge
you have
friends.
to be
Wait, hold on a second.
acquaintances.
So I don't know if you're lying about the friends part or the judge part.
I'm not lying about the judge part.
Okay, perfect.
People I know who claim to be judges, they could be lying for all I know. They say it's like it has to be good to make it to the next level or the final table, and then at that point, there is a little bit of luck.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that the judges can tell.
But there are a few breweries that like make it in those categories, like consistently. So I mean, there is something to it. It's not just luck.
Like, doesn't Coors Light wins every year, right? Is there it's a banquet beer category? Or?
No, actually, so they win cream ale a lot.
Yeah,
and then South Norte won cream ale last year. Which it's not really a cream ale.
It's not a cream ale. Yeah. So once again, I think that would be kind of fun. Just
creative.
Pick your categories, pick your favorite beers, and then just roll the dice on what goes where, and just be kind of funny. Like,
well, it's kind of like I like the idea of this. There's so much going on, and when you list all the ingredients, what I like about the way we did it is like you can taste everything listed. You can taste the ponzu, you can taste the lime, you can taste the tomato, you can taste the pepper.
Well, my favorite part is that everybody who tries it says it's too spicy or not spicy enough.
Yeah.
There's too much tomato. There's not enough tomato. So you're right. I feel like we touched on everything enough to where you can taste it, and everyone's got an opinion if it's too much or too little.
I'm hoping that's what at the table.
Yeah.
You're like, okay. I mean, it is mostly beer. It's 92% beer,
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be a run.
I'm drinking
I look
now.
forward to it.
All right. What do we got on the agenda today? I see logo.
Yeah,
Oh,
so Anna hit us up as like, yo, people keep asking about what the logo means. And then she put up like her rendition of it, and we both were like, well, that's not the way I tell the story. And then you hate the way that I tell the story. But I'm going to say it because, I mean, you created the logo, right? So like,
I don't hate it. It's just, it's funny because I feel like you, Jay, everyone, even some of the other owners, beer tenders, everyone's got a different story. And it's, I mean, for the most part, people get close, but sometimes they're completely off. And I'm like, well, that has nothing to do with nothing. But the story's funny. It's a funny story. But let's hear yours.
So here's how I have progressed. Oh, here's where I'm at now with the story. I've told it different ways. This is what I focus on now. I say it's a raccoon riding a penny farthing. Our original locations on the border of North Park and South Park, and raccoons are prevalent in the North Park neighborhood because of the proximity to Balboa Park. So the raccoon represents North Park. And then when South Park got their bike lock set up, just like some places do mountain bikes, they did penny farthings in South Park. So the penny farthing represents South Park, and since we're a neighborhood brewery, it represents our original neighborhood, which is on the border of North Park and South Park. So that's how I tell the story now. I have also told in the past, tell me if I'm wrong, we were... when it was time to come up with a logo, we were working with some people to try to come up with something. And I remember they pitched, remember tribal tattoos? Like they pitched a version of a owl that was like a tribal owl.
Well, they pitched
in a mailbox.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's go ahead.
Oh, those are the only two I remember.
Okay. Yeah. It was an owl, a mailbox, a keyhole, a grain, a barrel, and like a monkey fucking a coconut. I mean, it was just, it was so bad. But I'll get into that part of the story, which was go ahead.
Okay, and then you're like, well, these all suck. I don't want to do any of them. So it's like, fuck it. I don't want to work with these guys anymore. Like, we could put a fucking raccoon on a bike. It would look better than this. And then you found a picture of like a bear on a bike that was like a penny farthing.
And I drew stripes on
it.
it.
And you drew stripes on it. You pretty much just added a tail and drew stripes on it. And then Shannon was like, oh, I just saw this video of a raccoon riding a tricycle in someone's living room, and everyone watched the video and laughed.
Yeah.
But when you have to tell the story 300 times...
No, it's too long. It's too long. But I'll give you, though, you're close. There's a couple parts of it you missed. So one of the things is when we were scaling from Thorn 1 to Thorn 2, one of the things I personally always wanted was a logo, and we chatted about it a bunch with the staff, and everyone kind of agreed. They're like, yeah, it'd be nice to have a logo. So, but we hired this agency because up until then, and actually even to today, it seems like we've done kind of everything in-house. You know, a lot of people wearing a lot of hats. But it was one of those things where we were going big. We were going from a small neighborhood brewery to something that was going to be fully production.
In a can.
In the trains, in a can, the whole nine, right? So we kind of were talking about it and ended up agreeing on, hey, let's give the pros a shot, which I don't recommend if you kind of know who your brand is and know who you are. And what ended up happening is, we told them we wanted to be a part of the process, but we told them some of the things, we were curious about. We were trying to come up with the idea for naming conventions, because at this time we were just kind of making up names and throwing out the team, which I actually personally liked, but some people didn't. So they brought, okay, well, let's get some naming conventions. And then we brought up the logo. And so the first thing on the naming conventions, they pitch us this thing where it's named after North Park streets and all this stuff. And it's just like, that's fucking North Park Beer Co. Like, thanks for, I don't know how many goddamn hours you guys spent on that, but that was a waste of money. And then they came out with their list of logo stuff. And it was so bad that the combination of the two was like, everyone was just just pissed. It's just like, oh, what just happened? We literally just were speechless. Didn't say anything. Said we'd get back to him. Driving home, and everyone's like, fuck, this sucks. So literally get to the office, and we're drafting up an email. And the email we're firing him in pretty much says that it seemed like you guys walked into a third grade classroom and said, kids, throw out the first thing on your mind. Mailbox, keyhole, door, chair with print. And so we're firing him, saying it. I'm like, this is the worst 5-minute drill we've ever seen towards a logo ever. And this is over and above the naming convention, which was already done by North Park Beer Co., which actually wasn't even open at the time, but we knew he was going to do it. And I think there was 4 or 5 of us in the office. And we're like, worst thing ever, we're going to do it. And so we're like, okay, and you're right. There's a component of it, it was just neighborhood. It's like, what are neighborhood modes of transportation? What are neighborhood animals? What are things in this neighborhood, So we made a list, and it was, cat, dog, raccoon, squirrel, bee, bus, skateboard, bike, the North Park sign, the big tree in Balboa Park. Like, we came up with a bunch of things, and then we actually did start merging them. So there's a couple of things you missed there, because I think we had like a half bee, half bus stop. I don't know. It was just, but we
half bee, half bus. I love that. Honestly, I kind of like the idea of a mailbox. Looking back on it, who does a mailbox?
a bee, a half mailbox. So we just started merging these things together, and then the bee or the raccoon on the bike came up. And then that's when the YouTube video thing, and we were all laughing our asses off. And one of the things I think just really immediately, we knew immediately, like you said, the penny farthing and my Microsoft sketch, whatever, Photoshop or whatever I used to try and mock something up to give it to the designer, kind of came later with the penny farthing thing. But the penny farthing thing isn't just South Park, but it's also Balboa Park, has all the penny farthing bike stops as well. Back. So
my aunt. What up, Marianne?
Hi, Marianne. So so long story short, we kind of knew once we saw the video that we liked it, because the other thing that was kind of happening at this time, this was right after St. Archer sold. And when St. Archer sold, a lot of big breweries in San Diego were chasing this corporate rebrand. Coronado did it. I'm trying to think. There was a lot. I remember at the time, I think there was like 3 or 4 big breweries that literally did a rebrand right after they sold, which for us, and that's never been the motivation. It's like when that was going on, it's like everyone was going kind of this corporate clean can, and we're just like, fuck, we're still having fun, right? And so nothing seems more fun than a raccoon riding a bike, especially after you watch that video. So we were just like, mic drop, done. That's our logo. And then we had a designer. Shout out Ryan Lang for taking it on home.
Texas or something like that?
No, he's here. He's back here. He has a little CBD company, SD CBD or something, right there in the old F Street on University between North Park and Hillcrest.
Not familiar.
You seem like someone that would frequent an F Street.
Yeah, I know, right? That's why I doubt its existence. I'd be there.
But yeah, so that's the story of the logo. So it definitely is based on what we are as a company. We are a neighborhood brewery. We still are a neighborhood brewery. One of the things that we committed to doing when we did expand was staying in a neighborhood. There was a lot of people trying to bring us,
Miramar,
all that stuff. And it's like they knew we were looking, and we literally looked Hancock, at the bottom of Hancock, which is right below Mission Hills, which all of us owners have some history in that neighborhood. We looked at this building actually twice. This one came back up. This one we originally loved from the get-go. So, we always wanted to be in a neighborhood that kind of had that neighborhood flavor and character. And Barrio, we lucked out in this space. We absolutely love it here in Barrio. It's just a great community, strong community.
Yeah, that was a good win. Remember, almost went into the Wangs building in North Park.
We almost went to the Wayne's building in North Park too. Yeah, that's another one. So we definitely wanted to stay in a neighborhood.
Interesting how that played out.
Yeah, we still got a lot of Wings furniture. Oh no, this is Monkey King. These booths. Shout out Monkey King.
All the other ones, they're going to be in the distillery, right?
Yeah, they're in the restaurant. HottMess has all the Wings furniture. The Speakeasy has the Monkey King stuff, and then we've got another couple restaurants.
And that's where we got the big Chairman Meow sign.
That is
was from Wings, right?
That's right. Yeah, Chairman
massive
Meow. Our cat that watches over the
commie cat.
The commie cat.
Sick. Hey, Mrs. Seeley, Anna's mom. She's loving the stories. No swearing.
Oh, hi, Trudy.
Yeah, don't worry. No more swearing, Trudy.
All right, what else you got here, Mitch? I'm missing your.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, you got me blocked off. Tom, by the way, Tom always picks the topics, and he censors me.
What's weird is...
Did you sort out that 5-minute delay?
This is like the 4th time you've talked about me picking the categories, and every day I send you what I'm going to do for categories, and you never add anything. It'll be like, all right, are you ready to go? Yeah. Hold on, let's just call Bobby, see if he wants to do it. Like, oh, sure, Dennis.
Great.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's great, but it's like a little help planning outside of the second. It's like 3, 2. Okay, I'm calling Bobby.
All right, so we got Dos Mujeres Un Camino.
It's not Dos. It's just Mujeres.
You never watched Dos Mujeres Un Camino?
No, never even heard of it.
It was a classic.
Well, I don't even know what it is.
Daytime drama back in the day.
I don't.
It was in Spanish.
No, then definitely not for me. Subtitles?
Yeah.
No. So Estella, who lives down the street, you might know her.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The fucking salt and bread and salt
correct
deal. That's
the
rad.
old Alta Brewing.
Love that.
So it's I think it's actually a nonprofit, and it's going to be with Border X, or the owners of Border X. I don't know if Border X is officially a part of it. Estella. And I don't know if Bread and Salt is actually some sort of
but it's a woman startup for women that want to get into brewing, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be all things. They're going to teach them all things, and
very cool.
Yeah, they have the all brew space. Yeah, it's a really cool idea. I like the idea a lot.
Same. Yeah, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I look.
We should do a collab with them ASAP.
Sold.
Mujeres.
I'll do it.
Mujeres y un puto.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds disparaging.
Smart. You're one smart man.
I don't believe that for a second. Just I was looking at on Twitter today, and there's this thing called Beer Insights, and it's like no more than one a day usually text of just some like little piece of industry knowledge. They put out Sam Adams numbers. Now this is just over like a recent 4-week period, but out of all of Sam Adams' sales, 52% of it was truly hard seltzer. Something like 25% of it was Twisted Tea. 10 to 12% was Angry Orchard. And then the remaining 13% was beer. 11% Sam Adams, 2% Dogfish. Dogfish is a top 5 brewery, American craft brewery.
Yeah.
and they are 2% of all of British Beer Company sales, meaning they sold 25 times as much Truly as Dogfish Head.
That's insane. Yeah, that's kind of sad.
So
I'm hoping that at some point the end consumer wises up to actually you hear. I actually watched the thing on the news. It was on a YouTube thing, and I forget what. I think it was like a UK based thing, and they were talking about how more people are drinking hard seltzers because of it's healthier.
Yeah,
it's a shit.
The
product.
Perceived health. Yeah.
It's just it's a perceived health, and it's a calorie thing, but calorie doesn't necessarily mean health. You smoke crack and it's probably 0 calories. It's not good for you.
Yeah, I think it doesn't.
but really though, it's too bad. But the good thing is some brands like us, we actually came out with a seltzer. It's good, made with real fruit. So we'll see if it takes off. But at some point, it's weird because you wonder how much of it is just insane marketing and just that trend. It's like so hot,
Yeah, and if you look at not only does seltzer sell a shitload, but it's really like 3 or 4.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what sucks is that it's
that do like 95% of the sales.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. It's like even if brands like ours are doing really good versions of it, some people are literally just they've drank the White Claw Kool-Aid, and it's like they just love talking about their.
Well, it's the convenience, and then it's like the familiarity. It's like you know what you're getting every time.
But it's not good.
Yeah, but neither is McDonald's. They sell 1 billion hamburgers. You know?
Okay, touche. I will rest on that.
Take it from the guy that has the McDonald's body. We're eating them burgers. So when I have a meeting, I was supposed to have a meeting today with Taylor, director of sales, but it got pushed to tomorrow after our board meeting, and we're just kind of wrapping our heads around. We're trying to like kick off the second half of the year in July. Be like, okay, what does a post-COVID world look like as it relates to like drinking? And we were like, well, it's kind of 2 things, right? It's probably going to be online, so the convenience,
direct to consumer.
Yeah. So and then probably open air public spaces, and those are going to be probably 2 areas where you're going to see a large spike in consumption.
Right.
So then from there, it's like, okay, well, what can we do in those spaces? And I was like, oh, dude, I wonder if they'd bring back drinking at the beach, because they used to be allowed to drink at the beach in San Diego. I think it was before my time. Do you know how long ago that got taken away?
Oh, it was a while ago.
Because I don't think there's been drinking on the beach since I've been here.
No,
I've been here for like 6 years.
I think it's probably 10 or more. It's been a while. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that year when which just had all those problems. It was insane.
Wait, now, what were the problems?
Well,
it's just parties?
Yeah, it just became one of those things where, I don't know if you remember
Spring
when
break?
it was like spring break, and they always had like Beach MTV, and
yeah.
they'd always pick the number 1 destinations. Well, I think we had won it the year before, a couple of years in a row, and it just got to where
was it like Pacific Beach or something?
It was Pacific Beach, but yeah, it was literally that entire stretch from pretty much South Mission, all the way up to like Law Street. It's pretty much all our beaches, but that whole stretch of Mission Beach and Pacific Beach, where it just has that, 100 yards of beach that runs, I don't know how many miles it is. They had helicopters. You really couldn't even see the sand. It was just absolute chaos. And I remember those parties. You'd bury your keg in the sand, and you'd just have a tap at the beach, and there'd literally just be like fights left and right, and it was pure chaos, right? And what happened is when the police kind of came in, I think the end of it really was, police would come in on their beach cruisers or their ATVs and stuff, and they just couldn't stop anything. They try and stop something, and people would dump over their ATV or throw beers on them, and it just got to where it wasn't manageable. So they were over it. And a lot of the community there was too. I do have to laugh though. I definitely think that got out of hand, but I still think there should be drinking at the beach. And I still like the idea of these open airs and open it up. Little Italy, it's like they do it around the world, and it's some of the best things to do is just kind of hang out and have your dinner outside, drink some wine. And I definitely, you gotta don't let it get to what happened at the beach back then. But it was a thing where a lot of the residences voted on it. But I always have to laugh at the people that go to San Diego State University, and then they knock up their chick, and then they stay there, and then they become the people in their 50 and 60.
Vote against drinking.
Drinking. It's just like, hey,
that's the reason you went to school here.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's just one of those things. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, PB is kind of a big off-campus dorm.
Yeah,
and so I just think it's funny when these people just lock in and stay there instead of really kind of moving where they are. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a great idea. I'm gonna see what I can.
What do you think the likelihood is?
Yeah, I mean, shoot. Well, what do you think the likelihood was of us being able to do all this direct to consumer and
Yeah,
cocktails
or of
to
Little
go?
Italy shutting down the
Shutting down
street.
the beach. I think it's a really good idea. I do, because I do think that, like you said, if we are stuck in this new reality and it's social distancing, it's like, well, where would you rather social distance? I'd much rather be, at the beach in the summer when it's too really hot. I mean, it's gonna be a problem if they may have to keep people inside and there's any of these heat waves and people's AC units go out. I mean, there's a lot of old people die from that. It's like most of the people escape the heat that live in the East County, or people like in Arizona that come out here. It's like you go to the beach. So if you're able to just go to the beach and enjoy the beach and have a drink outside, and it doesn't get out of hand, I think it'd be great. I think it's a good idea.
What would we be able to do, like a big restaurant on the beach? Or tasting room?
Would
bar?
we? Like a mobile? Well, I know somebody that actually did do an event on the beach and sold booze on it, and they tied it to a restaurant. So it's possible,
Tell Uncle Jerry.
All right.
Make
done.
it happen.
I'll run it up the ladder.
Thank you. All right, brother.
Cool. Oh, shoot. That's it for today. Man,
Yeah.
That flew by.
I know.
You want to call Bobby?
I'd love to, but I'm just so busy right now. And you're busy too, right? So we had to start early today?
That's true.
Oh, dude, actually, real quick. Did you see that picture yet that's up there with me and Ernie?
Oh, I love it.
Dude, it's called the San Diego Front Door Project.
Okay.
And they're taking black and white pictures of a bunch of bars and restaurants around town.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just selecting certain colors to make them pop. Mm-hmm. So you can see I'm wearing, that's why I bought this hat. I got the red hat, and then Ernie has
pumpkin?
the red skull.
Oh.
No, it's the sugar skull. You can't see it from here, and then there's some Barrio cans that are on top of the doorway, the frame.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of hard to see, but
I see that you have a six-pack in your hand, don't you?
yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty sweet, right?
Right on. Shout out, Ernie. Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday. Oh, dude, tomorrow.
Yeah?
It's my birthday. I want something good.
Maybe a diaper for your
Please.
face?
I clearly already have one of those. I don't need another. All right, buddy.
All right, cheers.
Let it-
All right.